Thank you, my colleague, Professor Luo, and everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to take part in today's online lecture. It's my pleasure to welcome Professor Dr. Christoph Horn to today's lecture and the Contemporary Moral Debates course. As you all know, Zhongyuan Christian University has a strong tradition in science and engineering. And recently, artificial intelligence has become a central topic in both our academic work and daily lives. With this growing influence, the ethics of AI has never been more crucial. I'm glad to introduce our guest speaker, Professor Dr. Christoph Horn, who will be talking to us about ethics of artificial intelligence. Professor Horn is the chair of ancient and practical philosophy at the University of Bonn in Germany. He has been taught at several top universities, including Tübingen and Gießen. Besides, he also published widely on topics in philosophy and ethics. His work has earned him international recognition, including a Mandarin translation of one of his books published in Taiwan recently. Unfortunately, I have another committee and will need to leave partway through the lecture, but I'm sure you will all have a wonderful and thought-provoking section. Please join me in giving Professor Dr. Christoph Horn a warm welcome. Thank you.
First of all, let me express my gratitude for these fantastic words of welcome and for the invitation to speak to you. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to discuss with your splendid Junyuan Christian University this urgent topic, this important topic today. It's a great pleasure for me. In the following, I will begin with some reflections on digital ethics as a whole. I will then turn to the issues of chatbot technologies in my section 2. And finally, I will discuss the philosophical and especially the moral and philosophical, the ethical problems that arise under present-day conditions from that development of digital ethics. The one-sided alignment of decision-making systems, the bias problem. Linked to problem 3 is the bias problem. It consists in the fact that prejudices, for instance, the well-known phenomena of racism, sexism, or classism, can flow into digitized processes either unconsciously or deliberately. Technology is often not neutral, while it is certainly possible to hope that AI-based political and social decisions could achieve a new dimension of neutrality and objectivity, there seems to be an undeniable risk that, on the contrary, prejudices will be stabilized and intensified, for instance, in the case of the so-called racial profiling in the fight against crime. ChatGPT's strength lies in producing plausible answers to questions and tasks by sifting through massive data sets, running through options, and identifying patterns. Its ability to draw on all available knowledge and to use or modify it appropriately far exceeds the human range of knowledge. On the other hand, humans still seem to have a considerable advantage when it comes to creativity because AI technology so far only behaves reproductively, but at least at a very high level. In my opinion, it would be then clear that there would be a strong prudential reason against constructing such robots if robots no longer functioned according to rationally programmed goals and values, but instead reflected the irrational side of humans with stubbornness, impatience, jealousy, and aggressiveness. This would, however, mean the end of their servitude and human control. From a moral perspective, however, such robots should not be created because this would result in a much more serious moral conflict. If beings with an inner life, their own will and capacity for suffering were developed, they would have moral rights to appropriate consideration. Just as with the problem of slavery mentioned above, it would then be morally unacceptable to use them merely as instruments or devices for our own purposes rather than as ends in themselves. Thank you so much for your attention.
Is there a universal global entity or organization that is currently looking at laws and regulations? I know that there has been a lot of discussions in the academic field. And how do we bridge this discussion in academic or academia to the real world setting where it could effect change?
Not so many things are happening. So as soon as it reaches the state level, the legal level, we have a certain hope for a regulation. For instance, how the technology might be made ethically sensitive. There are such rules in the European Union. I know that also the United States are discussing these issues now, but us, the moral philosophers, we are free to go even much further and to discuss such an idea as a worldwide ethical council.
The student can USI. Do you think it's the ethical for the other one who put a lot of effort to do their assignment, the homework, or the quiz? Thank you.
It's of course not very fair and not very just to simply use AI-generated sources if you are in a competitive situation as a student, for instance. But the question is not so much if that is fair and just or unfair and unjust. The crucial question is rather how to avoid that. How can an organization, such an institution such as your university or my university exclude that? And the answer is it is increasingly difficult to do so. So it's really difficult to distinguish between AI-generated papers and self-written papers written in the traditional style of reading books and developing one's own thoughts. It is so difficult. It's a parallel phenomena to that which I mentioned concerning journalism. Journalism is now under threat since you can fake documents, you can fake photographs, you can fake voice documents. It's really difficult. So this is a tough problem. This is a tough problem, how we will organize academic life in the future, how we will have access to reliable information in the future. I see no clear solution to that, but what I wanted to say is this is a huge problem for our societies.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, as we come to the end of today's lecture, I would like to extend our deepest thank you to Professor Horn and for sharing this invaluable and remarkable talk on this and the ethics of artificial intelligence. We are also grateful to Professor Liu and Director Ke from Zhongyuan Christian University for organizing this wonderful event. It is worth mentioning that Professor Horn especially prepared this special paper for us on this topic, and we would truly highlight the importance of AI ethics. As we know, the current advancements for the AI have already gone beyond what we imagined, from drone and robotic and the autonomous vehicles to applications across various industries. The AI has become a very important part of our life. And as AI continues to evolve, I believe the ethical frameworks surrounding it will also become increasingly sophisticated. For our students, the world they will enter in the future will likely be filled with careers and roles that we cannot yet envision, many of which will be closely connected to AI. Through the Professor Horn's insights, we have been to valuable foundation, encouraging us to all consider more deeply the future of AI ethics and its impact on our society. Once again, thank you, Professor Horn, for your inspiring lecture, and thank you to everyone who joins us today. And thank you very much.
I appreciate so much for your participation in this meeting, and particularly I appreciate Professor Horn to give this special talk
and special article for the Center for General Education. I just hope that next time you can invite Professor Horn to Taiwan to give a talk. Thank you, and then we can leave the classroom and leave Teams. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.